Over the last several days, we have been talking about the verse in Psalms 118 down to verse 24. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. And I want to continue looking at this verse, but I want to look at it in a way that we can rejoice and that we can have joy in our lives. And what I was thinking about as I was studying this verse and going through this, there are times that we go through depression. There's times that we go through very difficult times. There's times that we go through struggles. There are times that life gets the best of us. So how do we rejoice in those days? How do we have the joy in that when we get up in the morning that we can praise the Lord when it seems like everything is going wrong? Habakkuk writes in Habakkuk chapter 3, and I want to read this verse. Though the fig tree should not blossom, nor fruit be on the vines, the produce of olive fail, and the fields yield no food. The flock be cut off from the fold, and there be no herd in the stalls. Yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation. Notice that. Notice this. Verse 17 says, there's no food. Now, let me paraphrase it for the day and the age that we're living in. I go to the refrigerator, there's no food. I go to the freezer, there's no food. I drive to the grocery store, there's no food. There's nothing to eat. There's nothing that I can go and that I can get. That everything is bare. The cupboards are bare. And yet he says down in verse 18, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation. Now, how can we rejoice when everything is going wrong? How can we rejoice when we're going through difficult times? Notice it says, I will rejoice in the God of my salvation. I can rejoice in the fact that my sins have been forgiven. I can rejoice in the fact that my name's written in the Lamb's Book of Life. I can rejoice in the fact that though what I'm going through now, it is temporary, that I have a home in glory, that God is preparing a place for me. And so what we need to do, sometimes when we get up in the morning, we do not feel like rejoicing. And believe me, I've had days like that. And I've had days that I struggled. But when I stop to think about what God has done for me and the blessings of the Lord, and the joy of my salvation, I can rejoice in that. Not rejoicing in the problems, not rejoicing in the issues, but rejoicing in the Lord, what He has done for me. God has been good to me, and God has been good to you. So when you're having a difficult day, stop and think about all God's done for you and rejoice in that. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.